Brooks, and I've had the pleasure of being Tommy's best friend for about the last 10 plus years. And during those 10 plus years, we were roommates for 6 of those years. And we're not talking like live in the same apartment. We mean literally bunk beds, beds next to each other. I mean, we had a standing date every night of the week. Dinner, movies, whatever. And during the course of that time, the last 3 years, we've been roommates at Georgetown out in Washington, D.C. And so from this point on, I'm going to tell a couple stories that are basically the guy behind the guy trying to get the girl. I watched the origin of this. So at this point, we are about, what would you say, 3 plus years ago, and it's mine and Raquel's second year at Georgetown Law. And Tommy and I were roommates, and he wanted to work out at Georgetown Law. So in order to get him in on a pass, we basically told him we were a domestic partnership type thing. We didn't have to prove anything, but they just kind of took the word. He came in, and he would lift all the time. So we're at the gym one day, and it's me, Tommy, and the person you guys know as the Right Reverend, who he referred to himself today as Joseph Graziano III. I've never heard that phrase before. So for the rest of this story, we're going to call him what Tommy refers to him as, Jojo the Indian Circus Boy. So, Jojo, me, and Tommy, we're at Georgetown Law's gym. We're walking around and we see Raquel. She's wearing some bright outfit that you wouldn't miss. And so we walk up to her, we start kind of talking to her like any guys would do. At some point, we ask her what her name is. Well, she's going to deny that she does this, but Raquel, when she's introducing herself to a guy, all of a sudden Raquel Del Castillo turns into a 17-syllable word, Raquel Renee Del Castillo, and drags it out, this Hispanic flair, and all of a sudden, you know, we take the bait. Okay, what ethnicity are you? And so Joey and I are a little confused at this point because we don't know if she changed languages mid-conversation or what. But Tommy's staring there with his, you know, patent huge green eyes like, oh, what ethnicity are you? So she goes, oh, brightens up as a little second grader who knows the answer to the question of what state capital is it. Says, no, I'm from Alabama. Well, Joey and I just stare at her like, what ethnicity? You're from Alabama. And Tommy doesn't even catch it and does his best Matthew McConaughey impression. He gets some Texas Southern drawl all of a sudden. He's like, well, darling, what part of Alabama are you from? And so Joey and I just, something's wrong. So they continue the conversation. Let's fast forward about 6 months later. We haven't seen Raquel much at this time. Hi, how you doing throughout school? But Tommy and I did a lottery for these Frozen Four tickets. We really wanted to go to basically what would be the Final Four equivalent of NCAA hockey. So we waited for about a year. We get these 4 tickets. Me, Tommy, and JoJo are going, and the 4th person isn't coming. So we're trying to figure out who should fill the tickets. We call pretty much, we're mentioning, hey, Tommy, who should it be, who should it be? We're mentioning a lot of the guys at this table, all our guy friends, and Tommy continues to say, I think that Raquel girl would really enjoy it. I think that Raquel girl would really enjoy it. At one point, I think he even says, you know, she's head of the GMA Society, the Sports Society at Georgetown Law. Tommy, you don't go to Georgetown Law. How do you even know what she's part of that society? But okay, at some point, we're like, all right, you want to invite Raquel? Invite Raquel. Now, we didn't know that she probably would have enjoyed it more than any guy, but we were like, okay. So, at that point, about after the first period, Tommy stands up, after he's kind of orchestrated the seating so that it's Joey and I, and then Tommy, and then her. He's isolated her away from the two of us. And he stands up, and he says, hey, Raquel, I'm going to go to the bathroom. You want anything to drink or eat? She says, no, I'm fine. And he just keeps walking up the stairs. And at that point, Joey and I turned to each other and said, did we just end up on a double date? And the wrong side of it, you know, and I got stuck with him, and he got stuck with me. He doesn't even ask us if we want anything. So at that point, we know something's not right. Now, my standing date that I had with him 7 nights a week is now gone. From that point on, it was Tommy and Raquel, pretty much all the time. And we have a phrase, Tommy, Joey, and I, and you guys who watch football probably know it. When a punter gets up to punt and gets off a really, really good kick, sometimes he will outkick his coverage. He kicks it too good. Well, Joey and I knew that Tommy was done because one of our goals when the bride that we hope to have someday would be that our friends would classify it as, wow, that kid's outkicked his coverage. He basically just pulled someone way out of his league. Well, Tommy, well done, sir. You pulled Raquel, and you outkicked your coverage. You are my best friend. I absolutely love you. You've taught me so much about things that most guys don't. I mean, the loyalty that you show to all of your friends is unbelievable. The kindness you show and compassion, and the true care that you have for all those that you hold within your inner circle is unlike any other friend I have. And I will forever thank you for that. And Raquel, you were absolutely amazing. And I don't use this word very often, but my highest compliment to a girl is that you're absolutely adorable. And you are, and Tommy adores you. And that is the most important thing. Tommy, I will forever love you. Raquel, you're amazing. I want to close this speech the way, when I was younger, I would often ask my dad, how do you know when you're in love? How do you know what love is? Well, he had 4 stages, and he would always break love up in these 4 stages. And he would always say it's about knowledge, understanding, respect, and care. So after that Frozen 4 date, they began to know each other. They began to get to know what they like and don't like. And after that, it proceeded on to understanding. They began to understand why they like those things, why they tick, what makes them who they are, and what buttons to push. And then you move on to respect. And respect is the appreciation you show for one another. I mean, you two definitely respect each other more than any couple I know. You respect each other's flaws and each other's bright spots. It's really impressive. And then you move on to caring. And caring at a deep enough level is really nothing more than love. So I think we should all raise our glasses and hope that Tommy and Raquel continue to get to know each other, understand each other, respect each other, and grow deeper and deeper in care to where even those who pass you on the street will undeniably classify what you have as everlasting love. To Tommy and Raquel,